viewers, my name's Cara. This is my personal channel, CuteWitch772. I'm also the Tuesday host on the Pagan Perspective collab channel. And this week on the collab was Subs Week, so the substitute hosts were making videos on their topic. And their topic this week was finding community. So people have been asking about how to just find community, other pagans, other like-minded people, whatever. So today I wanted to do something somewhat related to that because a lot of things that have been going on lately and things that came up today kind of just made me think, oh wow, this would be a really great time to talk about this. So on the collab they're talking about finding community, and today I am talking about finding community specifically amongst women, finding female community, finding a circle of women. And what I mean when I say I'm talking about that is not that I'm going to tell you how to do that, I'm talking about my struggle with that. This is something that I've actually kind of always struggled with for most of my life. Even when I had, like, some female friends, like in school, I never really had that really close attachment, that really close bond with, like, one or two other girls. And I see friends like that all the time, and I'm just like, that's awesome, and I've never really had that. Don't know what it's like. I've had really close best girlfriends in elementary school. In middle school, I had a different set of good friends. In high school, I had a different set of good friends, and they all eventually left my life, and I don't have them anymore. But I never really had this feeling that I had what I observe a lot of other girls and women having. So it's always been kind of this, like, man, I wish I could have that kind of bond with another female. And I have always had really close male best friends, or really close male friends, if not best friends. And all of the friends that I hang out with now on a regular basis are all dudes, and I love them. Like, I would not trade them being in my life for anything. I appreciate them so much, but it's not the same, and I think they get that. So it's in no way a slight against the friends that I have, and I do have female friends also, but I think they also understand what I'm talking about when I say that, which is not that I don't have any female friends, but that I don't have this specific type of friendship that even they, like the girls that I'm friends with, have that with other people. At least that's how it appears. But lately this is something that's been even more of a thing for me. It came up today in a lot of ways because Charlie Says Go, who is an online friend of mine who used to be on Pagan Perspective, that's how I met her, shared an article today about the importance of female community, the importance of women having women friends. And also today, one of the girls that was my best friend in high school, or that was one of my female best friends in high school, who I have not spoken to since probably junior year. I mean, like, we've been friends on Facebook the whole time, but we haven't really talked. She tagged me in a memory on Facebook today. So it was just like a couple of things coming together. And if you follow me on Instagram especially, but I think also on Facebook I've mentioned it, you will know that I sometimes attend a red tent event, and especially if you've been following me on Instagram, then you know that a little while ago I watched the Red Tent movie, the film version, for the first time, and that very recently, the other day, I was able to check out The Red Tent, the book by Anita Diamant, from my local library. And there's also a mini-series that was on Lifetime, and I don't know if that's the same as the movie in a different format, or if it's a totally different thing, so I'm going to look into that too. But I am obsessed with this lately. It's, if you don't know, it's a biblical story. It's a historical fiction, a take on the story of Dinah, Jacob's only daughter, the daughter of Jacob and Leah. And I've only gotten, just a little bit into the book so far, but the movie is brilliant as well. The movie is 3 hours long, and I watched it twice in 1 week, and I want to watch it again, and I want to own it, because I want to watch it all the time. And it is about Dinah's life as the only daughter of these 4 wives of Jacob, and it's just telling the story of her assault and kidnapping and all of that in more detail and from her own perspective and from the female point of view. And in this tribe of women in her family, the women have a red tent, that is the depiction of it there on the cover, they have a red tent where the women go when they menstruate every month, and where they go to do the birthing of all of the babies in the tribe and everything like that. And they hang out and they tell stories and they talk about whatever. So, so I attend a red tent, and it's based on that idea. So there's this movement now that women all over the country, at least, I don't know how much it's big around the world. So if you're outside the United States, let me know, do you have red tent stuff where you're from? But anyway, it's this movement where, of course, everywhere you go, it's going to be different because it's different women running it, right? But the one I go to, it's supposed to be, doing some kind of ritual, being in community, talking, telling stories, just sharing with each other and having that kind of support. And everyone that I've been to has been different. The one that I went to most recently was very different in that it didn't seem to be a lot of anything. Like, the ones I've been to in the past, there's been a ritual, there's been something really like, okay, we did something here. And it's not like I've ever come away with best friends or anything, but it's just that, like, being in community with women and talking about stuff and doing this ritual. And the last one I went to was really not that great in comparison, I would say. But everyone's different, Sometimes the energy is just off, or sometimes that's what people need, and it wasn't fulfilling my needs this time, but it probably did fulfill the needs of other people. So that's fine. But still, even though I go to those, like I said, those aren't giving me the really close personal, like, connection that I want, that I've always wanted, whatever. So instead, what I've been doing is, like, texting a bunch of my female friends lately, like, hey, can we hang out? Do you want to hang out? Like, can we just, like, let's do something? Because life is just hard lately. Life is difficult. Life is busy for people. I have a lot of friends who have kids, who have a family, who are, like, living farther away, or who live with their parents, or who have kids and live with their parents, or who are living with their partner, or, whatever, like, any amount of, are working a full-time job, are working more than a full-time job, are working multiple part-time jobs, whatever. Like, people are busy, and it's so hard to get together. So, like, I have female friends, okay, and I barely see them, and we barely talk, and it's not their fault, and I don't think it's my fault. I don't think it's anyone's fault. I think it's just, it's not that kind of thing, and that's fine. It's no fault of those people. I don't expect everyone to be that, but some people have that, and some people don't. So let me know in the comments if you have really, really close best friends of your own gender, or if yours happen to be of another gender. Or let me know if you're in my position where you kind of don't have that, and maybe you want to have that, and try to foster that, but really don't know what's going on. Like, maybe we're in the same situation. I know I posted about this on my personal page, and someone did comment and say, I know where you're coming from, like, I'm dealing with that as well. I love my male friends, I really do. Like I said, I wouldn't trade them for the world. One of them, Evan, the one that I just did an interview video with recently because he's trying to publish his book, he is such an important part of my life. So I really, like, I'm not knocking my guy friends. And by the way, if you would, please go watch the video that I did with Evan talking about his book. He's really working his butt off trying to get this book published. And I mean, I'm telling you, I've read it. I really enjoy it. Any of you who are into sci-fi, watch the interview video, please. Because it's, like, really weird to me that it only has a couple hundred views and only one comment, and that comment was, like, one of Evan's people who came and watched the video and commented on it. Like, none of my people have actually watched it. And so it's, like, weird. Please go watch it. We had a lot of fun making it, talking about the writing process and publishing and about his book. And like I said, he's very important to my life. We do theater together. He takes care of my cat when I go out of town. He is always there for me when I need to, like, cry and scream and rant about numerous things, right along with my partner, like, really, really close to me. And another great guy friend of mine is actually a guy I met in college who was actually one of my students when I was a teaching assistant, and we were in theater together. We lived in the same building, and when we graduated, or when I graduated first, then he graduated, we didn't really hang out for a year or so, but then he moved back into the area, and now we hang out whenever we possibly can, and I adore him, and we We love hanging out. And we found out recently, this will be something I talk about more in the future, but I recently found out from the Red Tent, the ladies were telling me about the 5 love languages. So I took the quiz on the website, just look up the 5 love languages, and I had my 2, best guy friends take the quiz too. My partner has not yet taken the test because they are in the middle of Tech Week for a show, so there's, no time for anything. But all 3 of us, my 2 best guy friends and me, we have very similar love languages. And I was like, that's so funny. It makes a lot of sense because we all enjoy hanging out the same way, and we do the same things for each other because we all have the same primary love languages. So the way that we interact and show our love and respect for each other is similar. So it's very cool. I'll talk more about that in a future video. But anyway, so I love them, so it's not about not loving them, it's just about not feeling like I have that balance, that I don't have female friends who are the same thing. I have some female friends, like I've been saying. I have girls that I worked with for the past 2 years who I love and adore and respect and admire, but they don't live around here and they're busy, they're in school or whatever, so we talk occasionally and we hang out and we get coffee or whatever when we can, but it's not a 24/7, in-person, face-to-face connection a lot of the time. And I have a lot of female friends online who I feel like if you lived here, we would be really close and we would be able to have that connection, because also some of the female friends that I have aren't witches, right? Imagine that. I'm friends with people who aren't witches. And so that's why the Red Tent is kind of cool, because it is a spiritual kind of thing, even though not everyone there is pagan or a witch. There are Christians and all kinds of people who come to that, right? But it's all intentional community, and it's having the same goal in mind and wanting to be in that spiritual space with other women. That's really what I want. And I hung out with a girl the other day who I'd never hung out with before. We basically ran into each other once and started talking occasionally, really occasionally. We did not even talk that much, but she got in touch with me again recently, and she's closer to me now in the area. She was never that far. But anyway, she said something. And I was like, well, we should hang out. So we hung out the other day, and we hung out for 5 hours, which to me felt like 2 hours, which is a great sign, because time flies when you're having fun. Hey, by the way, she's watching this. Hello. And I just have to say, that was fantastic. Why can't that happen all the time? I really especially appreciated that. And if you're one of the people who thinks I talk too much, you're going to think this is an insult, but it's not. I really appreciated that she talks as much as I do. And what I mean by that is she was sharing with me and telling me stories just as much as I had to share and tell to her. And we talked about everything from work to our relationships to witchcraft to stuff that made us mad, weird things that we've dealt with, to these beautiful opportunities that are blossoming in our lives and furthering our spirituality and trusting the universe, and just a lot of stuff that you can get into. And it was we were sitting outside in a park in a 5-hour span of time. We just talked about all this stuff, and to me it didn't seem weird at all. So I hope to you that it didn't either. It was totally normal, and that's what I'm talking about. Why don't we have more of that? Why isn't that more of a thing? So I've also been texting my other female friends, can we please hang out? I'm sorry, I don't know if I already said that in this video because I'm redoing the video, so I've recorded it twice. So if I say anything twice, I apologize. But I'm trying to make those connections, and especially when my female friends tell me oh, I miss you, I want to hang out with you, let's do this thing, whatever, and we try and they never get back to me, or we try and then we're too busy, or I'm too busy. It's not just them. Something doesn't work out, right? So it happens, but then there's a lot of times where I'm sitting around doing nothing, and then you get that Facebook notification that's oh, this and this and this person, multiple of your friends, are attending an event in Cleveland tonight. Cleveland's 45 minutes away from me. So I'll get Facebook things telling me, oh, your friends are at this thing. Or the next day, 5 different friends of mine will all separately post about how they all went to this event nearby that is something that I would have loved to go to, but I didn't know about it. And it's just all these people who want to hang out with me all the time are going and hanging out with other people, but they don't tell me about it. And I'm sitting at home reading the Red Tent being why don't I have friends? It's just so funny to me, but it's if they don't know, then how could they, So I have to tell people sometimes, like, let me know when this stuff happens. And again, one of my other best guy friends from college is always looking out for me because he sent me an audition notice the other day. Now, it conflicts with 2 other shows that I'm doing this summer, but he sent me an audition notice and he was like, hey, you should try out for this thing. And he's always looking out for stuff like that, stuff that would be good for me, which I totally appreciate. And we do hang out occasionally, and he gets me comp tickets to see shows that he's working on all the time. So he's like super duper busy, but he still makes time for me too, which is nice. I love you. One of my female best friends from college, we occasionally get together and go out for drinks or something, but she has like a family and stuff and a business to run, so I know she ain't got that much time, but we try. But that, you know, that's not even, it's not the same. It's not the same thing as what I'm talking about. I'm not sure if anyone really gets what I'm talking about. Probably if you get what I'm talking about, it's because you know what it is, because you know exactly what I'm talking about. Like, the people who understand it, it's because you have been there, you are here, or you have that, or you want that, or whatever. And I feel like the people who don't get it are the people who maybe that type of connection isn't vital for, and that's fine, because I don't think that kind of deep connection is important to everyone, but I think it's important in general. I will put a link to the article that Charlie shared in the description, or I'll share it on my Facebook page. And if you're not following me on Facebook or Instagram or what, I don't even really use Twitter anymore, to be honest, so I don't know, you can still follow me there, I guess, but I don't check it very often. But please follow me on Instagram and Facebook because I use those a lot. So if I'm not, like, posting a YouTube video, I'm posting stuff there. And I'm going to try to post a video every week, like every Friday or Saturday on this channel, and then my Tuesday videos on Pagan Perspective. So that's what I'm going to try to do, so look out for that. And go back if you can, catch up on some of my recent videos. Watch my interview with my friend Evan about his book. Watch my video that is called, like, Life Announcement. Like, My Life's Work is the name of it, but I forget what else I wrote. Like, Announcement, My Life's Work. Watch that because that's the video about how I quit my day job and I'm trying to do all of this stuff full time. And it's a struggle because I've only just started it, but I'm really hopeful, and I'm super grateful to all of the new patrons that I have on Patreon so far, by the way. We've reached a couple of goals, so this next month after I pay my bills, I'm going to look into getting a P.O. box, which will lead to even more cool rewards because it means I can send you guys stuff, you can send me stuff, and I'm supposed to be looking at some new technology and stuff, but I made those goals when I was also working a full-time job, so I thought I would have the extra money, and now whatever I make from YouTube and Etsy and everything is all I have to pay my bills. So I don't know if I'm going to be looking into new equipment right away, but I'll definitely look into the P.O. box first because I feel like that's really important. And also I'm still designing my business cards. That was an earlier goal. So please watch that video so you get a little bit more of an idea of what I'm doing and what I'm trying to do with it. And there's a link to my Patreon down below. You can find everything else pertinent there. But yeah, tell me your thoughts. Tell me if you've read or watched The Red Tent. Not only if you're female, you can be male or any other gender, because we know there's not just those two. Tell me if you've read this, how you like it, if you're interested in it. Tell me if you know about the Red Tent movement, and if you're outside the US, tell me if you have it there too. My camera's being weird because it's almost out of room, so I'm sorry it's been, like, cutting out. So that's the end of the video because I'm almost out of recording space. And yeah, so I just wanted to talk about that, and that's where I am, and I will see you next time. I'll see you probably next week. And until then, don't forget to be awesome, blessed be, and goodbye.